Hello, my name is Alex Godwin-Brown and I'm a reputation manager. Early last year, on a cold and dark Tuesday morning, at around 5 a.m, I was fast asleep in my London home when I was jolted awake by a phone call. It was an important client. There was a problem and I needed to fix it. Over the next hour, I had showered, dressed, and was on my way to Biggin Hill Airport to catch a private flight to meet my client and their lawyers. Several hours later, and after a lot of discussion, we had devised a strategy to fix the problem. The following morning, I was on a smaller propeller plane, this time flying to meet a personal contact. This contact would help me gather intelligence. The intelligence was very private and very embarrassing for the person at the center of it. We were gathering this intelligence to be used as leverage to keep the problem out of the press. Now, while this might all sound thrilling, it's entirely made up. A scene better suited to an HBO or a Netflix drama. In reality, the life of a reputation manager is far less dramatic. Yes, there might be the occasional private flight and the rare crisis, but these are few and far between. The real life of reputation management is creating a foundation for a brand that your target audience will respond well to and want to support. The most critical part of this foundation is the reaction provoked in an audience by the way a journalist refers to a subject. These oversimplified descriptions are influenced by powerful rhetoric from geopolitical commentators that describe entire nations and continents, such as fantastically corrupt, axis of evil, failed state, or as one former US president once famously said, whole countries. Kofi Annan addresses this when he says, "We tend to look at countries in terms of failed states and functioning states, which is rather simplistic." Respected publications guidelines insist their articles include essential information relevant to the story. The most respected publication guideline, the Associated Press Style Book, insists, purge irrelevant details, use only those that add clarity, perspective, and other value. Other value leaves a lot of room for interpretation. Whatever the intention, clickbait, bias, bad habits, padding out a story, irrelevant information creeps into headlines and articles with regularity. All you need to do is read the comments beneath an article to see what this extra detail provokes in an audience. I always tell my clients, never read the comments, but journalists always read the comments. They understand the power of their words and the reactions that are provoked. When a journalist first refers to an individual in their articles, what is known as a first reference, they use the following information to describe them: name, job title, nationality, and if you're a billionaire, you can guarantee that will be mentioned too. Consider the following. What is your response to these descriptions? Dubai-based billionaire, Russian billionaire, British magnate, Venezuelan tycoon, Indian magnate, American billionaire, Nigerian tycoon. Depending on where you live, the history books you've read, your socioeconomic background, and the culture you were raised in, your responses to these descriptions will vary. Your reaction will change the way you think about the rest of the article and the individual at the center of it. Whether these individuals were self-made, inherited everything, created their wealth sustainably and ethically or not, doesn't really matter at first glance. It's part of human nature to want our already formed beliefs to be validated. We've already made a judgment based on our perspective and a 2 to 3 word description. The job of a reputation manager is to make sure that the descriptions of my clients are not boiled down to these reductive introductions. Their work, personality, and mission must shine through everything they do. They must be described using multi-hyphenate terms. Is it even appropriate to refer to someone by their nationality, as if that assumes something about their character or morals? Might two people who have lived on either ends of the world not read the same books and watched the same TV shows? Isn't saying, "That's so Swiss, that's very French," an indicator of having a very limited understanding of a particular group of people? Consider me. You might have made assumptions about me. Another white woman with an English accent who works in PR. Yet, unless I tell you that I was made in Nigeria, that I spent the first 14 years of my life living in Lagos and Jos, and that I was the only English kid in my class, and that the first national anthem I sang was the original Nigerian anthem, inside joke, and that these experiences shaped me and the way I see the world, you would never have known that. So how do I make sure that I have the opportunity to communicate to you that my background and upbringing gives me a unique perspective which makes me better at my job? I could do something really obvious, like tell you in my TED talk, or in a more intimate setting, I could try to improve the chances it will be in our conversation by wearing attention-grabbing shoes created by a talented Nigerian designer. When I introduce myself as a reputation manager, the automatic assumption is I work with people hiding lots of skeletons. But that's not true for me or my clients. My job is to amplify my clients' very personal missions and to tell their stories in human and relatable ways. My clients are leaders in their field, they're philanthropists, they're founders cracking global issues, and individuals leading diverse representation and positive change in their industries. They are well aware of not being reduced to 2 to 3 word description, and we work together to make sure their multifaceted talents are obvious to all. Creating and maintaining a personal brand is far more personal than managing the brand of a business. A business can rebrand, change its identity, or shift market strategy with relative ease. And though some have tried, a quick name change on the back of a shotgun wedding, or a new stage name to reflect an evolution of character, one cannot so easily change your public perception and personal history. A personal brand is deeply intertwined with an individual's actions, their statements, their families and networks, their Google results, and tagged photos on social media accounts. The CEO of a business is irreplaceable. In other words, a business brand can have a degree of separation from the lives and identities of those who run it. When managing a personal brand, every aspect of a human's life is under scrutiny. The very personal nature of reputation management means that I must behave like a risk-averse, hypervigilant helicopter parent. I vigilantly monitor all aspects of my client's personal life online. Remember when I said that crisis communication and PR are endurance tests of empathy and meticulous planning over hundreds of hours of phone calls? I don't want to give you the wrong impression and make you think that reputation management is deathly boring and that the representation of people like me in shows like Succession and Scandal are purely fiction. There are lots of thrilling aspects of my job and stories of adventure that would make me sound like a government asset. Though sadly, I can't share any of these with you, as I'm bound by NDAs, and my reputation is dependent on my discretion. So how do you control your own reputation? Information is readily available online, and algorithms pull together a persona based on already found information online. Unfortunately, these algorithms generalize. They don't understand nuance, and they will pull together a persona based on predefined categories, neglecting to highlight your unique selling points unless you make them really bloody obvious. To avoid this happening to you, follow these 3 steps. First, curate your online presence. Think about your online presence right now. What do your Crunchbase and your LinkedIn profile say about you? Are they creating a cohesive image of who you are and what you stand for? Or are they a collection of old posts and Facebook photographs that don't even begin to tell the whole story. Second, actively share your insights and achievements regularly. Engage with your public in meaningful ways. Be mindful of the content that you post. Third, proactively manage your online brand. Google yourself and comb through the results. If you can, remove or address any content that doesn't align with the image you want to project. Network strategically, both online and offline, ensuring that everything projects the image that you want to project. For better or worse, first impressions are made online, and these impressions form the foundation of your brand. Taking control of your own brand is essential. Although the Odd Milestone Project and the Rare Crisis communication add sleep deprivation and drama to my life, the real work lies in the day-to-day activities to ensure that at every opportunity, my clients are perceived in a way that truly aligns with our identity and values. If you don't tell your story, someone else will.